Hey everyone, welcome to After the Weekend. How was your
Howdy.
weekend, Beard of Liberty?
Pretty good. Spent some time with the family. Get together with my brother and his family for his birthday. Yes, it was nice.
Yeah. We did some errands, got some errands done, but we Sunday we didn't really do much. But
Lazy Sundays are the best.
we did watch a movie. We watched a movie. And we're going to review that movie here in a minute. Before we introduce that movie, because we have a special guest coming on to help us with that, because R2 is missing.
Yeah,
I don't
we've
know
put
where
his
he.
face out on some milk cartons. We hope to hear back sometime soon.
Yeah.
Fun, somebody stole all our lunches.
I'll tell you who took those luncheons. That damn Sasquatch.
Yeah. I think he got
It's always that
arrested for
Sasquatch.
stealing lunches.
Oh yeah. Can't leave a
Well,
ham sandwich around that man.
yeah, he's on a little break. He's on a little vacation. And he's really bummed actually because February is our special month rom-com on ATW. We're gonna review I think 4 romantic comedies if you didn't know what rom-com meant. So we're excited about that.
Oh yeah.
And what did you say backstage, Beard? What did you call us?
Just a bunch of dudes sitting around watching funny love stories. What better way to
Exactly.
spend February?
Yeah. What's funny is when we first made our list, I will share them out later. But when we made our list, I shared my list to my wife, and she said like 2 of them weren't really rom coms, so we had to go back to the drawing board. So.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Well, we do have a special guest.
Yes.
He's been on the channel, I believe, before. He's been on mine as well. You are always on his channel reviewing movies, Spirit of Liberty, and he's
Yeah.
opened up a whole new world of movies for you. Let's go ahead and bring on Jacob Ironside. How are you, my friend?
Well, hello. I'm doing well. Thanks for inviting me on this.
Yeah, it's going to be a wild ride. It's going to be fun. We're going to hit the repeat button, and we are going to review Groundhog Day. So now, Jacob, what's funny is when we invited you, I guess I didn't know this, but you said you're reviewing this tomorrow on your channel.
Yes. I originally planned it for last year, but I was like, oh man, I forgot all about it. So I said, I'll do it next year.
Yeah, and you're going to really be Bill Murray reliving the dream.
Yes.
So by time you're done, you're really going to.
Why is the rum gone?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Anybody who ever hangs out in the chat over in Jacob's channel knows the rum is gone because of Mando.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
well, we do have some people here in the chat to say hello. We got Geek Talk. Good to see you. Yo, good to see you. Jacob says hello to himself. Good to see you. We got Kat's back. Good to see you. She was really helpful during our Lord of the Rings streams. She was dropping the facts. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that was fun. I wonder if our buddy R2 will be watching from the hotel, or if we'll get a little hop in here, but I don't know.
You know he's going to have to pop in at some point because he misses us. He misses us.
Yeah, and you know what? Just so he knows that we miss him a lot. I'm going to give him a nice little.
Stupid fat hobbit.
We should just go. We should just we should make sure we tell him that we love him. That's all.
Yeah. What better way than a Gollum insult?
Very. All right. Groundhog Day with Bill Murray. This came out in 1993. I think I was 11. I think I was 11 when this came out.
I was probably around 10.
Yeah. So I doubt we saw this in the movie. I doubt we saw this in the movie theater. When was the first time you came across Groundhog Day? Was it a girlfriend, or did you just happen to watch it?
For me, this was something that my parents would watch all the time, anytime it came on TV. So I remember seeing it. I just don't know if I ever actually, as a kid, sat down and watched the entirety of it. I just remember the funny moments here and there.
Yeah, and it's full of funny moments. Like it's It's I would say it's one of the classic Bill Murray movies. Jacob, when did you first come across this movie?
Oh, when it came out, I was 7. So I probably watched it when it came out. I don't think we didn't go see it in the theater, but we probably saw it the next year when it was out.
Like you rented it at the VHS store?
Yeah, something like that.
Okay. Yeah, I think maybe that's how we did it too, or we either saw it on TBS. This one was always on TBS.
I was thinking VS specifically as well. It's just one of those that was just always rerunning.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was.
It was always on. And they would always play it on Groundhog Day too.
Yeah,
it just makes sense.
I think there were a few times they just kept playing it, kind of like A Christmas Story on Christmas. So
I don't recall if they did, but they really should have played it also the day after Groundhog Day and the day after that, just to mess with people's heads.
Yeah.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it.
I should have realized I'm going to get the bulk of the abuse because R2's not here.
No. You're good. I mean, maybe I think that's you might actually drive people a little nuts and might freak people out. I don't know, but I don't think a lot of people would get the joke, to be honest.
Yeah.
But he did this. He was a pretty big star at this time. He just got done doing quite a big. He was kind of done with Ghostbusters. He was kind of doing his own thing. And he was big in the 80s, but I think in the 90s he had some pretty decent movies, and this was one of them. It's also, I mean, I like the quote here. It says he's having the day of his life over and over again. Would you think he had the day of his life during this movie?
I don't care how good a day you're having. If you repeat it as many times as he has to live through it, I imagine it would get a little old and annoying.
Yeah, and what's funny is it took him 3 days.
The punching Ned in the face. Ned?
Yeah. It took him 3 days to kind of get kind of squirrely, right? How many days? I think day one. I don't know. Day one he was kind of confused, right? And he was kind of like, what?
Yeah.
But then day 3 he was kind of like, he was really freaked out, right?
You eventually, like, you get over the confusion, like, am I just having really weird deja vu dreams sort of thing? And you eventually get to the point where like, I can just do whatever the heck I want. Yeah,
and he did, right? So we'll get into some of the funny things that he was doing, but he started remembering things. I think that was probably the craziest thing, where he was like, okay, I remember this happened at this time of the day, right? Because he's seen it so many times. He probably logged it in memory, right? And he used some of that to his advantage quite a few times. It is a rom-com because there is a romantic ending to this. He does fall in love. So that's why
I'm just going to go ahead and throw this out there. Andy McDowell is out of his league. Let's just...
Oh, Bill Murray?
Yeah. He's a funny guy. Maybe that carries a lot more weight, but...
Yeah, maybe. The one thing I noticed too was, you always hear rumors of Bill Murray where he's probably not the greatest actor to work with, right? He's had some troubles working with people.
Yeah.
And sometimes actors play themselves, right? And in this movie, he's kind of narcissist. He's kind of a jerk. He's kind of sarcastic, right? And I think he's like that all the time. My wife mentioned that too. Like we believe he could be this all the time, and he was just kind of acting himself in the first 45 minutes of this movie. Would you agree?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to get... I have facts later, so I'm trying to avoid some spoilers.
Okay. Well, you did say Ned, and I have a funny clip to play for Ned. So.
Hey, Phil? Phil? Hey, Phil Connors.
Ned?
Would you ever like? I mean, do you think that guy was real? Do you think Ned was a real guy from his high school? Do you think he was real?
You know what? I have no idea.
So.
We've all known somebody kind of like that.
I mean, he could have, saw him on the TV and like, oh, I'll use it as an opportunity to sell insurance or something.
Yeah, because he goes right into the life insurance, doesn't he? Yeah, I think he was trying to scam him.
He also mentions his sister's name, but he knows.
He did say name, I dated your sister till you said not to.
Maybe he did his research. Maybe
Maybe Ned's repeating the same day too.
Oh, wow. Because it is in the same town. Maybe all these people are living the same day. But he does start. They make little clues though, right? When his day restarts, it's like 6 o'clock in the morning, and he listens to the radio station.
That's right, woodchuck chuckers. It's Groundhog Day. Get up and shake that hog out there. Yeah. Come here, Groundhog.
And what's funny is when he goes throughout the days, right, when it starts repeating, he wakes up and he's hoping the next day is like the next day, right, the real next day, and then he hears that song from
Sonny and Cher,
and then he could see the dread in his eyes every time he wakes up, and he just hates it every time he wakes up, and I think it's hilarious because I think I would I think I would do what he would do a couple times. Like at this scene here where he takes the groundhog, right? Just goes crazy, steals the groundhog, gets the police to chase after him, and he drives over a cliff, right? And he thinks he's dead, but then he wakes up again.
I mean, to reach a point where you just want to drive off a cliff to escape repeating thing, and then to wake up just to hear the same damn song again. That'll put you in a dark place, man.
Yeah. Kat mentioned something earlier. That's why they didn't give Tom Hanks the role. So I don't know if Tom Hanks was originally for this role. Yeah, I don't really like Tom Hanks.
There were a few folks that were considered because they were thought to have been too nice.
Yeah, too nice. Yeah, I think Bill Murray was perfect for this role because he was supposed to be a jerk. It's okay, Nicole. You're not too late. But I have a surprise for you later, so don't worry. You're not too late. This gopher scene. I wonder if that was a real gopher. Is this part of your facts? I don't want to steal your thunder, Beard of Liberty.
It was a real groundhog, and he was kind of ornery.
Like Bill Murray.
Yeah, actually.
Yes.
Okay, well,
he was probably.
If I remember right, they had a full family of groundhogs they raised, so that they had a bunch of them available for different scenes in case one of them was not being too cooperative or something were to happen, or they couldn't be on screen for so long for animal rights purposes. But yeah, they had a whole host of groundhogs available.
Well, this movie was filmed not that far away from me in Woodstock, says Nicole. They have festivals. Okay, that's pretty cool. Bill Murray was wonderful in this role. I think he was perfect. I also think the love interest was a good choice as well. Mm-hmm. I think she was. I think she. I always liked her. I liked her in Multiplicity. She was fun in that movie. That's another one we probably review later. But yeah. Do you remember how he stole Phil though? He
just kind of snaps and thinks this is not going to end as long as that thing still keeps seeing its shadow. I have to do something. And they load him up in the truck, and he just steps in while everybody else is looking away and just takes off.
He did quite a few things. Like he stole some money, I think that way. He just goes crazy, which I would do as well. I think I would try everything once, right, and then try to figure out what the heck's going on. But then you have but once if it's the day that you see, that's a thing that I was like, okay, maybe I'll bring it up later, but when he starts trying to off himself, it's like, wait, once if the next day does come, then you're dead, But
Yeah, I've thought that too.
I think in the back of his head, he honestly knew that he had to do something different, and we'll go into it, but what he had to do. So normally we do, so we're gonna do the numbers, and look at me, I already forgot the intro. Look at this, I'm already failing. Look at that.
11, 92, 12.
So we're gonna do the numbers, but first I'm gonna boo myself because I was supposed to play the intro before the number. Okay.
It's okay. You're carried. You don't have a co-pilot. So usually you have a co-pilot and me just kind of sitting in the back, like, are we there yet? Are we there yet? So
Yeah.
Oddly enough, I'm clicking through the slides and I'm doing everything. So in the clips, sometimes Rick sometimes does the slides. But we always miss up, so it's okay. Okay, let's hear. What was the budget, film dates? And Rick provided this slide, by the way. He did a really good job. He's always a good job at finding these numbers. So what was the budget? The filming dates were March through June 1992. What was the box office? It came out in 1993, like we said, in February. So about a week, I think a week or two after Groundhog's Day itself. So Beard, what do you think the budget is?
I usually think on this ahead of time, but just winging it right now, man, it couldn't have been more than this feels lower budget than I would think. But
Well,
Bill
yeah,
Murray
because they
was
just
a
had to
big
keep
name.
Think about all that stuff. They just had to film one long take of all the repeated stuff.
Oh, I'm going to be way off. I just know it.
Yeah.
Maybe a $20 million budget. I think it's pretty low. But I think it probably had good returns with Bill Murray in it. So maybe 200 million. I think it did pretty good in the box office.
Yeah, I'm gonna say you might be right. Jacob, what do you think the budget is and the box office?
Yeah, maybe 30,000. And
so 30,000 for the budget.
Around the same as 200, 250, something like that.
Okay, so 30, 250, and Beard, you said 20. And did you say 300 or 200?
I said 20 and 200.
Okay. All right. And remember, you can guess now in the chat, or if you're watching this later, you can guess in the comments. We'll take a look at those. We always think those are great. Again, if you're new here, you go ahead and please consider subscribing. If you are new or you're watching later, that'd be fantastic. All right. So I don't see any guesses in the chat, but we'll go ahead and. So it was $14 million in 1992. In 2023 numbers, it would have been $30 million. And then it made $105 million in 92, which would have been $228 million.
Wow. I nearly guessed 15 million, but I thought it definitely would have done better than that.
Yeah, I thought it would have done better too, but it did not.
Well, I guess the 2023 budget, I guess.
That's what you just have to amend that later on. Oh yeah, that's what it totally meant. 2023 money.
Yeah, exactly.
He was right. He was right in $23.
Yeah, we credit around here. It's
Yeah, we'll give you a thumbs up for that.
Thumbs
up. You're good. Let's see here. So the cast, like we mentioned before, was a pretty good cast. We talked about Bill Murray. We thought it was pretty perfect for the role, but there was a lot of side characters that were really funny. Like Harold Ramis was in this movie. He was the doctor when he was like, "Oh, you don't have no tumors. You don't have any lesions. You don't have any weird things going on." And then Chris Elliott. He's
great.
I always get a kick out of Chris Elliott. One of my favorite movies with Chris Elliott is Cabin Boy. But he, yeah, that's a great movie. he was fun. He was the camera guy. He was kind of the weird camera guy. He was always hitting on the ladies. And then
What's
he
that?
had
Rita asks Phil if he wants to join them for like dinner. He's like, no, I've seen Larry eat. Pass.
Right. Yeah, he's like,
No.
yeah. Now we reviewed another movie, The Burbs, with Rick Ducommun. He was in The Burbs. He was the guy at the bar that was with the who was the other guy? But where they were really drunk. They were really drunk, trying to drive.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that was I think that was the second or third night he was on repeat when he decided that like I could do whatever I want, you know. I'm gonna just.
I don't know. It's kind of hard to tell exactly how many days he goes through.
I think this one was the first night though, because he was just like drinking away. And then you had the lady who ran the inn that he was staying at, Mrs. Lancaster, where he does some funny scenes with her as well. Angela Patton. She's she goes, you know, are you staying later? And he's like, oh no, never. And then he's like, all the time.
I like when she asked him, did you sleep well? I slept alone.
And then he's like, when he was trying to like just quickly get through the day, like, yes, I'll have coffee. And he's like answering before she says the word. And then I think one time he kisses her. And then the first time when he's like,
I like
the first time before it repeats was the cold shower. He was like, don't you have any hot water around here? She's like, no, there's a blizzard.
We wouldn't today.
Yeah. What were you going to say, Jacob, before that?
And of course, Brian Doyle Murray, Bill Murray's brother, is in it.
Yep.
Yeah, I didn't realize that until I was researching for this.
Really? Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
He's the famous brother of Bill Murray. Yes. Rick Overton. Rick Overton was the taller brownie from Willow. Okay. Thanks for the fun facts there. Did he steal your thunder there, Beard?
Not in that one.
Okay. All right.
I don't want to challenge him though, because he can pull up some stuff and just start just spitting out all the facts.
Well, if he picks on you in the chat, I can boo him and I can mute him. Just so you know. Okay.
No, don't do that. You were right. R2, if you didn't hear us earlier, we knew you would miss us.
Yeah, and you know what? We wanted to. I don't know if you saw it, but we wanted to give you a big.
I love you. You love me.
So yeah, a big nice. Nancy was funny. She was the lady that he hooks up with. One of the ladies he hooks up with. He remembers her high school teacher and like.
Oh yeah, he just shows up and starts asking questions so he can use it later on. That's when he's in his like bad Phil status.
Walks away. It's like, hey.
Yeah, he did that to Sandy Mastermeyer, his movie date when he was dressed up as like a cowboy and he stole that money from the bank and he bought the Rolls Royce. Yeah, that was awesome. Funny. So let's see. I'm stuck in a hotel, much like Bill Murray. Okay, all right. Well, hopefully you have a good time. Now, one of the other characters we haven't brought up yet that I thought was a surprise. I forgot. I didn't even know he was in this. Was Michael Shannon? Was Fred? He's really young. If you remember the party where he's like nice to everybody, right? He's doing all the nice things for everyone. It's before the night before it actually ends. It's the wedding couple. They got married, and he gives them tickets to WrestleMania. He's the groom.
Wow, I did not recognize him.
So Jacob, if you're going to rewatch it before your show tomorrow, go watch it. And you'll notice it. He freaks out. Oh my God, WrestleMania! Yeah,
I was going to bring it up here, but you beat me. You beat me to it.
Oh.
JT, do not guess. How many times do we have to tell you?
But watching it this time, I noticed.
Are you there? You noticed what last time?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay.
I noticed Michael Shannon in it, rewatching it for this show. So.
Okay. Yeah, it was kind of funny. So Beard, yeah, when you go back and watch, you do see him. All right, so now we got Ned again. We got Ned. We already showed Ned a little bit, but he was one of my favorite characters. Was Ned, because you couldn't tell if he was really serious to be his friend or if he was just kind of scamming him out of money, you know. So, what was that, Jacob?
I mean, yeah.
What were you gonna say?
I mean,
Needle Nose Ned.
Yeah. I think most of us have known somebody that's kind of like that you don't see in like 20 years, and then they act like you're just like, you have to remember me and all the details from my life, and they come running up, and you just have no idea what they're talking about.
Right,
and you just the trumpet with his belly button. Right?
Yeah, and he asked him, "Hey, did you go pro with that, or what?"
Did you go pro?
Needle Nose Head. Needle Nose Ned the Head. Yep. Now I know exactly what you would do, Beard of Liberty, to Ned.
Hey, Phil? Phil? Hey, Phil Connors.
Ned? That's right, woodchuck chuckers. It's Groundhog Day. Get up and check that hog out.
So yes, everybody, we are doing Groundhog for the rom-com on ATW rom-com. It's good to have you on the show, Jacob. How are you? Did we lose Jacob? It is a great movie, and we're excited to review it tonight. Beard, I know you were excited to review it. I heard this was one of your favorite movies.
Oh, yeah, it's a great movie. Nothing like spending your February with the bros watching romantic comedies.
I know, right? And you're like, what would you do if your day went into a loop like this, where every few hours you just kept doing the same thing over and over?
I think I'd probably break down long before Phil does in this movie.
Yeah, and I think Bill Murray does a good job portraying what would happen to someone if that happened. Yeah, I think he was a really good pick for this role. Do you agree he was a good pick for this role, Jacob?
Yeah, he was a great pick. I think it would be a completely different movie with a different character.
I think if Tom Hanks was in this movie, I don't think it would be that great of a movie. Would you agree? Would you agree, Beard? I mean,
no. I'm pretty sure they didn't go with him because they thought he was too nice.
Yeah, and he does go a little kooky.
He might have had a ball named Wilson in
it. Or a groundhog named Wilson. He does get a little kooky. He does kind of find his love, though. We'll get in that till later. This movie came out in 1993. I think it was one of his. I think it's one of my favorite movies of his. He was just off of Ghostbusters, right? So the second one, anyways, and I think he had a fun time. Who was your favorite character, Beard of Liberty?
Oh, probably the Groundhog.
The Groundhog? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I would say it was Ned. I think Ned was my favorite character. So
good choice. What'd you think, Jacob?
Yes, it's Groundhog Day again. Well, I don't know. This is the first time I reviewed it.
I can't think of a favorite.
You can't think of a favorite character? Okay. Well, Nicole, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm having a little deja vu moment. Are you, Beard? I thought we already talked about all this.
Yeah, but
I've never had deja vu.
Oh,
never had it.
What's it made out of?
Chocolate. All right. Well, let's find out. What?
It caught me off guard.
Fun fact: Groundhog Day was filmed in Woodstock. Oh yeah. Well, really now cool. For some reason I thought you were going to say that. She lives in Woodstock. Okay, very cool. That's not far from me. Okay. All right. So we're gonna. I don't know. My brain's going weird, but we're gonna do the in the theaters to see what happens there.
Shut your drums and stop kicking the seats! We're trying to watch the movie!
Oh, that was weird. I could have sworn we reintroduced the movie. I don't know. Okay, so Groundhog Day came out again February 12th, 1993, and this is the week that it came out. So we had Groundhog Day was number 1, which that's pretty good, right?
Yeah.
And then Untamed Heart was also on its first week.
Yeah.
The Temp, Love Field, Strictly Ballroom, and Dead Alive.
Ooh, Dead Alive did not do well.
And you had Loaded Weapon 1. No, it did not. Loaded Weapon 1 was on here. That's a excuse me. That was a fun movie.
Homeward Bound, Aladdin's like at number 4, and it's on what, week 14? That's pretty good.
They still celebrate Groundhog's Day, Nicole says. Oddly enough, I'm pretty sure you were going to say that, but thanks for sharing it. Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, that's weird. I keep getting like these things that someone's already said this before, but whatever. Oh, and then if you look down way at the bottom, I don't know if you've seen this movie. It's another pretty decent movie, but The Bodyguard's down there. You got Home Alone 2. So I don't think any of these movies jump out as me running to. I mean, maybe as a kid I would have saw Homeward Bound or maybe Aladdin. But
yeah, but among the kind of like list that we've seen from some of the previous films that we've done, this is not as quite a good option for films for this slice of history.
No. Well, we lost Jacob.
It's those raccoons again.
Leprechaun, I do remember that movie. That was
oh yeah,
that was a good movie. Leprechaun was a good movie. I think that's the one with Jennifer Aniston. She was in that movie. And we got Home Alone 2, Lost in New York, Homeward Bound. Homeward Bound, man, we need to review that movie.
It's been ages since I've seen that, but yeah,
that gets you all misty eyed.
Yeah, I might have to go camera off for that one.
Yeah, that one will get you. I mean, that's just like.
I don't remember that version of Titanic.
Oh, you don't? Okay.
No.
It looks like we lost Jacob. He'll be back, hopefully.
Yeah, back.
Let's see here. But yeah, so you're right, Beard. Some of these movies just don't jump out like the rest. Some of the ones that we. Now, these are the many faces of Bill Murray in this movie. He does a lot of them. He does the woodchuck there. He does I'm losing my mind. Look there in the left. And then this ain't that scene when he says I'm God because he just never dies and he can just kind of do whatever he wants. That was a moment that he had. The piano scene where he's playing the piano, that was fun. I wonder if that was really him.
I don't think this is on my list for later, but when he's taking his piano lessons, he first plays a part that's like real messed up. And then the second time we see him and he's kind of playing it right, but it's awkward. If I remember right, Bill Murray did actually learn that specific section of the song. But everything kind of afterwards, it's real professional sounding, wasn't actually him, but he did play some of it.
Okay. Jacob, hello. Are you back? Oh, uh-oh.
He's battling the raccoons.
He's probably battling those raccoons, those dang raccoons.
Yeah, and if anybody doesn't know the raccoon lore, you really need to go over to Jacob Ironside's channel for his movie reviews, because the raccoon lore is deep.
They like to eat his cords.
Yeah.
But well, hopefully we'll let him come back on his. Are you back? Are you here? Okay. Well,
these pictures are good though, because
can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, Phil in this film, he does actually kind of go through these 4 stages of just like, it's like take advantage of everything where he the darker side, he learns all facts about all the women that he wants to get with and uses that to his advantage. He goes against like all the rules and just does whatever he wants. Then he tries to go get with Rita and things don't work out. Then he falls into depression and just tries to end everything. And at the not to jump all the way to the end, but then that last stage is where he's actually trying to better himself, not necessarily to get with Rita, but he's out there actually helping people and catches a kid from falling out of a tree and all this other stuff. And he actually becomes less selfish.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a good selection of photos to kind of convey all that.
Yeah, you're right. He does kind of go through those stages of life real quick.
Yeah.
But it's one day, right? But to him, it's almost like a lifetime. And I rumor has it, the number, and we'll wait until the fun facts for you to tell us. But yeah, and then he keeps on meeting that pesky Ned. It's almost like Ned is the reason why he keeps repeating. What do you think?
If it's anybody, it's Ned's.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it's the Neds. Now I know, Beard, that what you would do is you would punch him. Right?
Hey, Phil. Hey, Phil Connors.
Ned?
That's a nice punch there.
Rise and shine. And don't forget your booties, because it's cold out there today.
Welcome everyone. It's Groundhog Day again.
You put your
after the weekend. Thanks for seeing us. We're reviewing the Groundhog movie tonight, and we're excited to review this movie with you once this February, because we are doing rom-coms here on After the Weekend. Beard, I can't do this. Like, we've done this like twice already.
I don't know. I'm just stuck on the fact that I'm still watching romantic comedies with my bros. So
to see the rat again.
Yeah.
Do we have to see the rat pulled out of the box again? I mean, come on.
Yeah, I mean, we could. I mean, Bill Murray played a great role in this, and I don't think anyone else would have played a better role. I mean, if Tom Hanks was in this, I don't think it's
No, he'd be too nice.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I knew you were going to say that. And look, I'm absolutely 100% Nicole.
He would bring up the chocolates again.
You know what? I bet she lives in a town that's not too far from the town where this was filmed.
What are you, a god?
Yes. I just can't not go away. I mean, yeah. Anyways, what was your favorite part in this movie, Beard? Let me guess. Was it the scene where he steals the groundhog?
Yeah, groundhog, and yeah.
Okay. Like Isaac says, "Good evening." Yeah.
Oh, Isaac's gonna be so confused.
Yeah, good to see you. I mean, thanks. We're just starting the show here. We are reviewing the Groundhog Day. It feels like for the umpteenth time. I think we're on most. I don't even know. Fun fact here. See, there you go.
Wow, cool.
Woodstock, Illinois is not that far from me. I knew she was going to say this. They have festivals there. Yeah, you know. All right. Well, I'm not. Did we do the? I think we have to do the theater. I think we have to do the theater, right? I think we have to do those. I think we have to do those.
Yeah.
We have to do that. All right. I got to play the. Yeah.
Shut your drums and stop kicking the seats! We're trying to watch the movie!
Okay, this came out in February 12th, 1993.
Oh, this looks familiar.
It does look familiar, doesn't it? Groundhog was number one for the week, along with Homeward Bound. Oh man, we should review that movie.
I
That
haven't
really
watched
gets
that one
you.
in forever.
Yeah, that really just gets you in the right in the heart there. Just kind of like,
Yeah, I'll have to go camera off for that one probably.
yeah. I mean, it's just
Probably.
it's just like Titanic. I'm sorry if you're watching live and you have no idea what's going on, because we don't either. We just keep repeating the same day. If you don't believe us, unsub.
I just want to address this real quick. Technically, anything is edible at least once.
Ooh, I guess you are right. Everything is edible.
I mean,
at
people
least.
eat squirrels, so I guess it's kind of a bigger squirrel.
It's not in my facts list, but I think if I remember right, some of the origins for groundhogs was locals would be sent in, like kids would be sent in the forest to round up groundhogs. And Bill Murray kind of jokes on that part of the film where he asks if they're edible, or he jokes about how he ate one recently or something like that. Like they would just round him up and either eat them, or just kill him for the fun of it. Boy, the past was weird.
I feel like I want to throw a toaster in a tub.
Poor Mrs. Lancaster didn't know what was going on when he just took her toaster.
So this is simple. Let's see here.
That
Isaac
doesn't feel
says
very good.
no.
Yeah.
The simple fact is groundhogs are and delicious. They're edible and delicious. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah,
Cook them up
we
with
may
some
have to
deja
review.
vu. Man, it'd be great.
Now,
That was good, Jacob. That's good.
I'm still missing the joke, but I'm kind of like my mind just I keep repeating myself, so I'm not sure what's going on. This is some of the scenes where he really where he wants to end it, right? He goes through it a couple times. He does the truck, he does the toaster, he does the jump in front of the truck, and then he just stares at that clock. And I always thought that was funny whenever you knew it was like a bad day for him when they showed the clock like really slowly flipping down, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was. And then there's a time that I think this scene right here is when he breaks it. He smashes it and does
He
all
just
that.
picks it up and slams it on the ground.
I mean, you would reach this point, won't you? You think you would. You would get pretty like, oh my God,
yeah.
like, what the frick?
Absolutely.
There's even if you remember, there's a part in this movie where he says, you know, last spring I was in like the Caribbean or something.
Yeah, he says something like, I was in Tahiti, there was this beautiful woman there, we had a nice time, why couldn't I live that day over?
I know.
Yeah.
True, very true. He did say that. But again, this movie is a rom-com. There's one part of the movie him just living in loop, trying to find about who he is, kind of maybe change the way he views the world. And one person that helps him do that, because he sees her every day, it's almost like he's in a relationship with her, but she doesn't know it, is the love interest here. And and you said she's out of his league, I think you said that.
Boy, it sounds like I did say maybe
I'm guessing ahead of time.
But actually, him trying to get with her is kind of what led him into that dark kind of period. Is he found out all the details, all the things that you think you would need to know in order to get with somebody, and he could never get it right. Every time ended in failure. Yeah, and he kept getting slapped in the face multiple times. There's even a scene where he does it pretty well, right? She goes back to the room and he takes it a little too far and he gets slapped, but he tries to recreate that same moment, but he plays it too over the top, where you could, even if he wasn't reliving the day the same day, you can tell it was fake, right? So
yeah.
And then there was a moment where she stayed with him the whole time and she fell asleep next to him, and then he woke up and she was gone. That was a little foreshadowing there, because they do end up she does really fall in love with him in one day. Pretty amazing, right?
Spoiler for an old movie.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
I mean, if you haven't seen it by now, I mean, you should go watch it. It's a good movie. But he does end up with the lady because this is a rom-com month, and he does it the right way, right? He goes around and he does things for other people instead of for him, right? So his last day is the day where he does everything for everyone else instead of himself. And I think that's the whole moral of this whole movie is, you can think about yourself for every once in a while.
Let me get your thoughts on this. Maybe I'm reading too much into this movie or trying to sound like I'm some big brain and it's all smooth up here. But he says at one point, this day will keep going on as long as that damn groundhog sees his shadow. And then they're both named Phil. You have Puxatawny Phil and Phil Collins. Not Collins. Phil, whatever his name is.
Phil Collins? Wow.
Yeah, sorry.
Phil Collins in this movie?
My brain. I forget his last name. But
I think it is Collins, actually.
They're both Phils. And it's only when he stops being kind of his dark side that his day ends. So it's when he stops seeing his own shadow. He stops kind of like looking at his dark side.
Wow. Nice job.
Yeah.
Look at you.
Yeah, good job.
You get a... I think I'm going to cut that out as short. Beard's deep thoughts about Groundhog Day.
Of all the things to have like a deep thought about, it's Groundhog Day.
Well, yeah. It's a good movie. You're right. There is a little moral to it. I think you're at. Maybe that is true. Maybe he, instead of his dark side and his rude side, his bully side, he starts being his the nice person he should have been. Maybe you're right. Maybe that's what finally gets him out of this stumble.
I don't know.
Now, you said you had. I believe you said you had 10 fun facts that you wanted to share, Beard.
We can cut it if you want, but I do.
All right. Well, hold on. I got to play the clip there. You can't just go. This is your first time doing it.
I know. I'm new at this.
That's the fact, Jack! That's the fact, Jack!
That's another great movie. We should probably do Stripes. That's a fun one with Bill Murray.
Yeah.
Have you seen that movie, Beard of Liberty?
That would be another first watch for me, but that should come as nobody's to a shock to nobody. So,
okay, well, that doesn't quite deserve a Vader, but you do get to watch this great commercial.
Everybody's loose. Everybody's loose. Everybody's loose. Eventually.
yeah, I don't think the public really appreciates the service that Ryan does for us. Spreading important messages.
We lost a viewer off of that. We went from 3 to 2. All right. So, Beard of Liberty, let's lay down the facts here.
All right. To start out, according to Harold Ramis, who directed this, and I think is the co-writer on it, most of the time when he tried to explain a scene to Bill Murray, Murray would just interrupt him and say, "Just tell me, good Phil or bad Phil?" And basically just play off of it from there.
That goes along with what your theory of the movie was.
Yeah. And also kind of like Bill Murray himself as just kind of getting his own personality in there.
And what I said earlier about him playing himself, that's an interesting fact there. Okay. All right.
So regarding your questions earlier about how many days, we in the film see about 38 days depicted. According to Harold Ramis, the original idea was actually for Phil to live that day for about 10,000 years. But later on, he said that what actually happened is Phil probably lived the same day for about 10 years. but still 10 years, 1 day.
Okay, say that again. So like he was originally supposed to do 10,000 years.
That was the original idea, but later on, Harold Ramis said that he thinks that Phil probably lived the same day for about 10 full years.
Wow. Did he? I wonder if he
nearly
aged.
4,000 days repeating over and over and over.
I wonder if he aged. He didn't age.
No,
huh?
He's not progressing through time. He's stuck.
Wow.
Yeah, he's now suddenly the part where it gets dark makes a lot of sense.
So what would you do
I also
if you had
read some stuff where.
Yeah, go ahead.
I also read some stuff where they, change it to be, nobody knows, so it's kind of leaves it open, for interpretation. Which I thought was a good idea.
Look at all of the knowledge he has in 10. Think about all the knowledge you learn in 10 years.
Yeah, some people, I don't remember the details of it, have speculated on how long it would take him to master playing that specific classical piano piece. And that alone would have probably been several years of like really skilled piano practice.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Anyway, not that I'm going to say Nicole ruined anything, but the film was not actually filmed in Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania, but actually in Woodstock, Illinois, just 50 miles from Bill Murray's hometown of Willamette. There's a small plaque that reads, Bill Murray stepped here on the curb where he kept stepping into the puddle. And there's also a plaque on the building wall at the corner that says Ned's Corner, where Phil Connors was continually approached by Ned Ryerson.
Huh.
Yeah.
So in this town, they actually have a little plaque for this movie. That's pretty cool.
That's right.
Nicole did have another fact here.
Also,
go ahead.
Bill Murray actually took some rudimentary piano lessons so he could actually play, from the distant shots.
I think you said that. Or maybe you did. I don't know. I feel like we're on repeat again.
Yeah, it is a sad fact. I didn't actually add that to my list, so we're going to get 11. Bill Murray was apparently going through a divorce while this was being filmed, and his anxiety was so high that he was kind of being a pain in the butt to Harold Ramis. And so Ramis put the other, I forget the other that was working on the film with him, basically on Bill Murray watch and ignored everything that was coming from him. And it unfortunately is one of the main reasons that had a falling out that lasted for so long.
So this was a movie that caused the fallout.
Mm.
And then he passed away, and then they did Ghostbusters Afterlife.
Yeah.
Because what I've heard about Ghostbusters Afterlife was Bill Murray never wanted to do it because they weren't friends anymore. And then he did Afterlife because he felt probably heartbroken that he didn't get to say, I think he did say goodbye to his friend. Just in another way.
From what I understand is towards the end of Harold Ramis's life, they kind of had a pseudo makeup, but it's just unfortunate all around.
Yeah, it happens. I mean, it's real sad. Okay, so you got some more.
So, I seem to remember somebody mentioning Tom Hanks earlier, but things I might be misremember. But Ramis considered Tom Hanks, Chevy Chase, Steve Martin, Robin Williams, Michael Keaton, and John Travolta for the role of Phil Connors, but considered all of them far too nice.
Oh, it's Phil Connors.
Connors, yes.
Tom Hanks would have seen everything. Tom Hanks would have seen everything like a box of chocolates.
That's right. You can't get him to be an a-hole.
Actually, he can be a pretty big a-hole. You just got to tell him who you voted for.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Kind of leaning into the whole Bill Murray is kind of an awesome dude in real life when you just kind of meet him. Like, while they were filming the Ned scene, which they did every single take right after the other for each different scene because the weather was changing. They had to do it right then. Bill Murray noticed that hundreds of spectators who were viewing the activities, and so he went to the nearby bakery, ordered 500 Danishes out of his own pocket, and he and Stephen Ned then distributed them to the grateful onlookers.
Nice. So Ned and him gave out Danishes.
That's right. I mean, that's kind of cool when you film it in like a local area where people can just be walking, and it's obviously cold outside, so hey, why not?
Yeah, it's awesome. We'll get to Mr. Fact Checker in the comments there. Rick, we'll get to your comments here.
So I had the chat blocked from my fact list. Like I wouldn't even notice a Mr. Nitpick over here. Okay, I'll rattle through a couple of these so we don't have to go on for too long. This is the first and only film directed by Ramis to be rated PG after directing edgy R-rated comedies like Caddyshack and National Lampoon's Vacation. He said he wanted to direct a movie with some slight edge to it, but also one that would be overall suitable for a family audience. And he insisted for this film, any violent sexual content or whatever would be at a minimum so that he could keep a PG rating.
I wonder if that's because he had his own family by this time.
You kind of start seeing it with some actors and directors. When like families start coming into the picture, they change their tone on things.
Yeah. Okay, you got one more?
I'll do one more and we'll call it there. The Tip, because I like this one. The Tip Top Cafe, or the Clock Cafe, as some people know it, where they were sitting inside. The indoor scenes, the entire place was like vacant, and they built the interior just for this film. And afterwards, it became an actual restaurant called the Tip Top Bistro. Wow. And later on, it was a coffee and Italian ice cream shop. After that, a fried chicken restaurant. And at least as far as I can see for now, is a Mexican restaurant called Taqueria La Placita.
In Illinois.
Yep.
Wow. Nicole, you should go there.
Yes. Take pictures.
If you're not too far, go out there and share us on Twitter or whatever, or X. That'd be fine. So Rick's dropping some of his own stuff. Ramis and longtime collaborator had a falling out during the filming of which Ramis. Yeah, we talked about this. Didn't we talk about this?
Yeah, because he was going through a divorce.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We already said all this stuff.
We're on loop again, aren't we?
Are we?
Mm-hmm. Hey, Phil. Phil? Hey, Phil Connors.
Ned?
Right? Are we living the same?
Chuckers, it's Groundhog Day! Get up and sit that hog out!
Hey everyone, welcome to AfterTheWeekend.
Welcome.
Just kidding. I hope we're gonna round up the hour here. I hope you enjoyed our little joke of playing the repeat. We thought it'd be funny to do that. Hopefully didn't lose too many viewers off of that, but hey, whatever. Yeah, Woodstock, Illinois. Yeah, go take pictures. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Another fun fact, the cast met up just this past Groundhog's Day. Oh, they did? Did not know that. Rick did have one that says, according to Ramis's daughter, Violet, at the point, Ramis had lost most of his ability to speak, so Murray did most of the talking over several hours. Okay. You're just bringing down the mood.
No, I mean, that was the kind of like late in life reconciliation sort of thing. So that's nice.
It was nice. It's nice that he was able to do that. And then he did the movie Afterlife.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it was this movie that broke the relationship. That's pretty crazy. That's pretty wild. So final thoughts, gentlemen. Jacob, since you are our guest, I'll have you go first. What are your final thoughts about this movie? Why do you think people should go watch this movie again and again and again and again?
It's great. It's great. It's one of those movies you can watch over and over again. I never get tired of it.
And you know what?
Groundhog Day joke. That's.
You're absolutely right, Jacob, because if this movie was bad and it was a looped movie like this, people wouldn't want to watch it over and over again, right? It's good that it is a good movie that you can literally put on repeat. So that's a good statement. Beard of Liberty, what are your Why would someone want to watch this over and over again?
I mean, I agree with Jacob. It's just one of those things that if you're switching channels and you see it, you're going to at least pause for a little bit. You might not stay there for the entirety of it. And it's one of those kind of, it's one of those movies you can just put on the background whenever you have a family get together. You don't have to worry about the kids seeing something they shouldn't see or hearing something they shouldn't hear. And everybody's going to love it. You can tune in at any point and just enjoy it. So Bill Murray is fantastic as Phil. The whole cast just in general, even though really you're looking at the core cast as being really small, they're all great. It's one of the, I'm the guy that doesn't watch movies, and I had previously seen this movie. So if you haven't seen this movie, what is wrong with you?
Yeah, it's a good one. I always enjoy it. My final thought is that if you're looking to watch like a few good Bill Murray movies, put this one on your list along with Ghostbusters, Stripes. There's a few others, but make sure this one's on there. You won't regret you will regret not watching it if you haven't. And trust me, we didn't spoil it too much. I mean, the whole movie is fun.
Well, you can know the exact plot of this movie and still enjoy it.
Yes, it's a rom-com.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Our first rom-com was pretty successful, wouldn't you say?
I think so.
So anyways, I do have a quick announcement here. So we still have our mixtees.com shirt out there and hoodie. It might start warming up because we might have an early spring according to this year's Groundhog. So make sure you get a t-shirt at 20% off with ATW20 with the code. And if you go to, like I said, After the Weekend dash logo, you can get a shirt there. That would be fantastic. You not only support us, but you also support a other fellow YouTuber, Pop Bros, and they take care of that website. So anyways, our next rom-com, because this month is rom-com on ATW, is we're doing Fools Rush In. So with Matthew Perry and the lovely now I lost. Did we already say this movie again? Have you been on repeat already? Have we done this already?
Everything feels like we've been here before.
Okay, well,
it'll be a first watch for me regardless.
You've never seen Fools Rush In?
No, I know. You're surprised.
Oh, really? You haven't,
Jacob?
Beard
in that. I haven't seen it.
Okay, all right. It's a good one. It came out in 1997, so we're going to review that, and it will be a good, fun watch. It's always a good one to also watch with your bros. Romantic comedies. So, but yeah, it's Matthew Perry and Salma Hayek. That's the one I was missing there. Yeah, Nicole loves that movie, so maybe Nicole could be our guest. Alrighty, so everyone, you have a great rest of the week. If you are on repeat, what?
When like Jacob shot some stuff out?
Oh yeah. Sorry. I thought he said he was doing this movie again, so I didn't know if he wanted to keep saying that he's doing Groundhog Day. I mean,
I know we're stuck kind of in a loop, Jacob, but why don't you let us know what you got coming up?
Well, tomorrow night, I'll be going over Groundhog Day again.
Sounds.
Rise and shine.
It'll be fun.
And don't forget your booties, because it's cold out there today.
I have a feeling Jacob's gonna be like, this is like the 5th time I've done this movie. Groundhog is here again.
I will be on Roman of the Empire's channel discussing the 1984 Dune.
Ooh, that's right. I heard about that. He did tell me that he was reviewing that movie. I know the second one is coming out very soon, so I'm excited for that. And the original, I could never sit through it, but I like the new one. The new one was good. So everyone, make sure you check out Jacob's channel. I'll put the channel in the chat one more time. His also will be in the description once the show has ended. And all right, everyone, you have a great week. If you are on repeat, Beard, do you suggest they do something nice for someone?
Yeah, if you're stuck in a loop, just stop being, you know what? No, I'll put it this way. Just start being nicer. Stop looking at your shadow.
Facts. All right, Jacob, thanks again for coming on and joining us. It was kind of last minute, but I appreciate it. And we always love having you on the After the Weekend. Everyone else, have a great week, and we'll see you next Monday. Later.
Truck to refrigerators to dumpster, 360 spin onto the palace, backflip gainer into the trash.
This is it, man. Big stuff. Just relax and have fun. Just have fun with it.
Talking away. I don't know what to say. I'll say it anyway.
I'm not
today's another day to find.